All right, let's move on to our next game. This is Take the Money and Run. We played the North American version on the Magnavox Odyssey 2, and this is the European version on the Philips Videopac. Let's take a look at the artwork for Take the Money and Run. So this is the Videopac 12, and the artwork, God, the guy looks crazy. But you can see there's robots chasing him, and we read kind of what the story is for Take the Money and Run. It is the craziest idea. We played it with Creative Plug when he was on the channel, and you're running away from robots that represent the market as a positive or negative, you know, a bear market or a bull market. So it's like a metaphor. It's a video game metaphor of the economy in the United States. It is insane. And there's some of the artwork for us. There's our cartridge, very bare bones. Usually they tell us what button to push, but there's an example of the screenshot. And do we have a manual? Okay, we do have a manual. Oh, but it's the homebrew manual. So this explains what the game is and how to play the game. We gave an example for the Odyssey 2, but we played something similar, so we'll just boot it up and see what it's like. So it looks like we have a French version or the European version. So we're going to play the one in Europe. It is 1979. We're playing Take the Money and Run on our Philips Videopac. This is cartridge 12, and just like anything else in the Philips Videopac, we load up the console, and then we push, I'm guessing, button 1. Yes! It is button 1. And the way this works is you need two people that have two controllers. I'm the green guy on the left side, and then the second player would control the blue guy on the right side. And how every round works is we have green money that is represented by what I have, and then blue money represented by what the second player has. Every round has chances to gain money or lose money. Right now we're in a gain round. So I'm moving my green guy around the board, and ducking down under the low-hanging places of the maze, and you're trying to collect these good robots that represent the good part of the market. If you can get to those robots, then you gain that much money, and you can see it's going down. It's slowly counting down because you're trying to get to them as fast as you can. And if you can touch them first before the other person, then you get the bonus. And we got it. So you can see my money raised up, and now we're going to do it again. Now it starts with 20 grand, and it slowly counts down as fast as you can to catch them. But I think these are, oh no, these are the bad ones. So you want to avoid these guys because they'll take away that much money. So it's a very bizarre twist on how it works. But from the chat, Chiptune Chronicles said, is this based on anything like that Woody Allen 1980s movie? And yes, that is a movie by Woody Allen. I don't think it's based on that movie, though. It's based on more the American economy. At least that's what we read in the manual. But I'm really a fan of the walking animation. It's awesome for the time. And I really want to know if the developers programmed a character too large and then later realized, oh wait, we got to get them to duck under the walls. They won't fit. Or it was intentional. They wanted to do that originally. We want to make the characters do that. I love that. It's awesome. All right, so for the time, this is excellent. Very bizarre, of course, but we're going to go and give this one 4 stars out of 5 for Take the Money and Run for 1979. That's awesome. All right, let's move on to our next game. This is our handheld, the Milton Bradley Microvision, and this is Vegas Slots, which I think is going to be a gambling game. Since the novelty of just seeing the Microvision and honoring the Microvision, since I have a simulator that works, this is one of those systems that I hope never gets lost and forgotten. So let's take a look at Vegas Slots. This is for the first handheld system that had interchangeable cartridges. And from the chat, again from the Take the Money and Run, they look like Gumby, and yeah, that's a great description. I love it. All right, so there's the example of the cartridge for Vegas Slots. It is the whole cartridge that goes over the top. So you're literally putting the whole thing over the top, and it changes the screen, it changes the buttons for every game you play. And yeah, it's most likely a betting game. It looks like a slot machine game. Yeah, here's the manual for it. What are they going to tell us about how to play? So they explain for a 1-player game. Oh, you can do a 2-player game too. That's pretty good. And that means you have to pass it back and forth. We've featured other handhelds on the channel, and most handhelds, you play the game you got. If it's football, that's all you got is football. This is the first system that you could switch games out on the same console. All right, so I'm not going to go into too much detail because it is a betting game, but I do want to hit on playing a game so novel. Just the fact that we can play this is awesome. All right, bring it back. Bring it back. There we go. Okay, here we go. This is Vegas slots, and if you look on the far left, that's what it looked like to hold in your hand. On the bottom, we have a little turnstile, a little twisty paddle, if you will. And let's go ahead and see how to get it to go. So it is got to be just a slot machine, right? So let's see if we can go first game, and then go, and can we change the display? Okay, yeah, so we can pull the handle. Yeah, so there we go. It is a handheld slot machine. I actually am not aware of any other handhelds, like even self-sufficient handhelds. Are there any slot machine handhelds that came out before this in 1979? This may be the very first. Microvision had the very first pinball that you could hold in your hand that was programmed, video game wise. There was some games that were the ball physical handhelds, of course, but this was the first video game that was pinball, and this might be the very first slot machine that is a video game. And from the chat, Chiptune Chronicles says, we just need a cigarette and martini for the full Vegas experience. Yes. So I'm not going to hit up too much of that one because it is a gambling game. Not a whole lot that we're going to do on the channel with gambling games or casino games. But let's go ahead and move on. We'll go ahead and give that one, for the time and the novelty of playing this on a handheld, we're going to go ahead and give this one 3.5 stars. I don't know how much people would want to play gambling. There's no money. The system isn't going to send anything out. There's no chips. But 3.5 stars for Vegas slots.